Welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel, fellow collectors, coin enthusiasts, and curious viewers. Today, we embark on a deep and insightful journey through the intriguing history, design, and collectability of one of Britain's most widely misunderstood coins, the 1979 new Pence 2p coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Though many people overlook this humble copper-plated coin, its fascinating legacy, the myths that surround it, and its present-day value in the collector's market make it a truly noteworthy piece in the world of numismatics. So, if you've stumbled upon this coin in a drawer, found it tucked away in a box, or have simply always wondered if your 2p coins could be worth more than meets the eye, stay tuned, because this episode covers it all. To understand the significance of the 1979 2p coin, we must first travel back to 1971, the year the United Kingdom transitioned to decimal currency. This monumental changeover, known as Decimal Day, restructured the entire British monetary system. It marked the introduction of several new coins, including the 2 pence coin, commonly referred to as the 2p. The original 2 pence coin bore the reverse inscription, new pence, instead of the denomination spelled out as 2 pence. This inscription was used from 1971 until 1981 and was designed to emphasize that the coinage was part of the new decimal currency system, distinguishing it from the pre-decimal coinage. The obverse of the coin features the young profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Quin. This portrait, used between 1968 and 1984, is iconic in the numismatic world, with Her Majesty wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The portrait exudes regality and simplicity, and is considered one of the most elegant depictions of the late Queen. On the reverse, we find the badge of the Prince of Wales. This design includes a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath the coronet appears a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. The value of the coin is denoted below with the words, new pence, and the numeral, 2. In 1979, the Royal Mint produced a massive number of 2 pence coins for circulation. This was part of an effort to maintain the necessary quantity of small denomination coins for daily transactions in shops, public transport, and vending machines across the UK. The 1979 version carried no visible mint mark, which was standard practice for UK circulating coins. Unlike coins from countries such as the United States, which often include visible mint marks indicating their place of production, most British coins do not display this information unless they are special collector editions or part of commemorative sets. The materials used in the production of these coins were bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This composition gives the coin its warm reddish tone. Each coin weighs approximately 7.12 grams and has a diameter of 25.91 millimeters. The edges are smooth and unlettered, a consistent feature across all 2 pence coins of this era. From a visual and tactile standpoint, there are no unusual features or significant die varieties officially recognized by the Royal Mint for this specific year. Most coins from 1979 display standard wear patterns and aging from years in circulation, including discoloration, contact marks, and fading luster. The straightforward answer is no. In fact, it is one of the most common 2 pence coins ever produced in the United Kingdom. Tens of millions of these coins were struck and released into everyday circulation. Their ubiquity makes them readily available even today. Over 4 decades later, however, misconceptions abound. Some sellers and amateur collectors mistakenly assume that any coin bearing the inscription, new pence, is rare or valuable. This confusion arises because of a specific coin issued in 1983, which mistakenly retained the outdated, new pence, legend after the changeover to 2 pence in 1982. That 1983 era coin is rare and can command a high price on the collector's market, but to be perfectly clear, the 1979 version is not the same as the 1983 error. It was meant to say, new pence. It is not an error, and it is not scarce. Still, condition matters. While most of the 1979 coins found today are in circulated condition with noticeable wear, those preserved in mint state or proof sets can hold more value to collectors. These coins, especially when stored carefully to prevent environmental damage, can retain sharp details, original shine, and even the beautiful reddish copper tone from the original bronze alloy. For circulated coins in average condition, the market value remains quite low. Most are worth only their face value, 2 pence. Even in above-average condition, their abundance keeps prices modest. A well-preserved circulated coin might sell for 10 to 15 pence to a casual buyer or a bulk collector looking to complete a date set. Coins in uncirculated condition or those graded by professional grading services as mint state, such as MS65 or above, can fetch slightly more. Prices for high-grade examples typically range from £1 to £3, depending on the coin's visual appeal, luster, and lack of blemishes. Proof coins, however, tell a different story. In 1979, the Royal Mint issued a limited number of proof-quality coins for inclusion in annual collector sets. These coins are struck multiple times using polished dies and blanks, resulting in a sharper, mirror-like finish. If you possess a 1979 2-pence proof coin in pristine condition, especially one still sealed in its original set, its market value in 2025 could range between £15 to £30, depending on condition, demand, and presentation, but beware of exaggerated claims. Some online marketplaces advertise ordinary 1979 2-pence coins for hundreds or even thousands of pounds. These prices are often fueled by misinformation, opportunistic sellers, or misidentification. Serious collectors will not pay such sums unless the coin in question has certified rarity, an error, or exceptional condition verified by a professional grading authority. First, examine the coin's condition closely. Look for signs of wear, discoloration, or damage. Coins with full details on the queen's hair and crown, and with a crisp, undamaged reverse, will always be more desirable. Second, consider preservation. Store coins in acid-free holders, capsules, or archival-grade sleeves to prevent oxidation, corrosion, or tone damage. Never clean a coin using abrasive materials, as this will destroy its collector value. Third, be cautious with online listings. Always cross-check prices and avoid falling for sensational descriptions that claim ordinary coins are rare treasures. The numismatic market rewards knowledge and condition, not hype. Lastly, remember that coin collecting is not just about profit. It is about history, heritage, and the joy of discovery. Even a common coin like the 1979 2-pence carries a piece of Britain's monetary legacy in every detail. As we conclude today's deep dive into the 1979 new pence, Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, we hope you've gained valuable insights into its origin, design, mintage, and collector worth. While this coin may not be the crown jewel of your collection in terms of monetary value, it remains a fascinating piece of history from an era of major change in British coinage. The 1987 2-pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. It's often seen as common pocket change, but is it hiding a secret? Could this coin be worth a surprising amount of money in today's collector market? What's the story behind its creation, its lack of a mint mark, and why are some people on the hunt for it in 2025? Stay with us as we break down every detail, from its royal portrait to its metallic makeup, and reveal what might make this humble bronze coin much more than just spare change. The 2-pence coin, often referred to simply as the 2p, is part of the decimalization of British currency, which began in 1971. Prior to this, the British currency system used pounds, shillings, and pence in a format that had existed for centuries. The decimalization process aimed to modernize and simplify the coinage, making calculations easier in a modern economy. By 1987, the 2-pence coin had already been circulating for over a decade and a half. It retained its original dimensions and composition, a round coin made primarily of bronze, measuring 25.91 mm in diameter and weighing just over 7 grams. The 1987 version of the coin was minted during a pivotal period of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a time marked by both continuity and subtle transformation within the royal mint. While the coin bears no visible mint mark, this is standard for circulating UK coins unless they were produced for special purposes or foreign contracts. The absence of a mint mark is not an error, but part of the design protocol at the time. Let's begin with the obverse, the front of the coin, which features the third official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This depiction was created by sculptor Raphael Maclauf, and was used from 1985 until 1997. It presents the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a jeweled crown reserved for certain official appearances, paired with a poised yet dignified expression. The inscription surrounding her portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, translated as, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side of the coin, we find a design deeply rooted in British royal history, the badge of the Prince of Wales. This emblem features 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, beneath which lies a ribbon inscribed with the German phrase, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. The numeral, 2, is prominently displayed below the feathers, with the words, 2 pence, completing the design arc. This reverse design pays homage to the heir to the British throne, a tradition that symbolizes the prince's connection to service and duty. The image is a nod to centuries of heraldry and royal symbolism. The 1987 2-pence coin was struck in bronze, consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This alloy was used for 2p coins from their introduction until 1992, after which the Royal Mint switched to a copper-plated steel composition. This makes the 1987 issue one of the last few years struck purely in bronze, and this can make it particularly appealing to collectors interested in original metal types. Over time, these bronze coins often develop a rich patina, especially if exposed to air and moisture, creating a range of natural colorations from red-brown to deep chocolate hues. Although weight and size remained consistent throughout the bronze years, collectors often look for variations in strike quality, die wear, and mint condition when grading or valuing such coins. The short answer is no, at least, not in its standard form. The 1987 2-pence was minted in the hundreds of millions, and it was a common circulating coin found in everyday commerce throughout the United Kingdom. It does not contain a mint mark, but again, this is completely normal for circulating UK coinage. The absence of a mint mark does not mean it was part of a limited edition or rare issue. However, the confusion and intrigue often arise from the existence of well-known varieties in other years, such as the 1983 new pence error, or coins struck on the wrong planchets, which has led to heightened interest in examining even the most standard-looking coins for hidden oddities. In the case of the 1987 issue, no known major minting errors or rare variants have been documented in the standard collector databases. That said, coins that exhibit strong doubling, off-center strikes, or unintentional planchet anomalies, while exceedingly rare, would be of interest to specialists, and could command a premium. For coins that have been in pocket change, showing typical wear and tear, the value remains at face, just 2 pence. These coins are extremely common, and while they hold historical and design value, they are not considered collectible in worn condition, uncirculated or mint state condition. coins that have never entered circulation and retain their original luster may fetch a small premium from collectors. In 2025, a 1987 2-pence coin in true mint state, graded MS64 or better, might sell for between 50 pence and £2 depending on demand, strike quality, and I appeal, brilliant uncirculated and proof versions. Coins issued in collector sets, particularly proof sets, can be worth slightly more. In pristine condition, they may command values in the range of £3 to £10, depending on packaging and grade. However, these values still remain modest given the high mintages. Error coins. If discovered, should a genuine 1987 error coin ever surface, such as one struck on the wrong metal blank or showing major die misalignment, it could potentially be worth significantly more. But as of now, no such errors are officially confirmed for the 1987 2p. In essence, the coin's value in 2025 is primarily historical and aesthetic, not financial, unless it is part of a special edition or displays a verifiable minting anomaly. The answer depends on your goals. If you're a beginner in numismatics, it's a wonderful starter coin, easy to find, historically rich, and part of a fascinating lineage of British coinage. If you're a seasoned collector, you may want to seek out a perfect example in uncirculated or proof condition to complete your decimal bronze series. Even if its monetary value is low, the coin represents an era, the mid-1980s, when Britain was under Margaret Thatcher's leadership, when the Royal Mint was modernizing its production, and when Queen Elizabeth II was entering the middle decades of her record-breaking reign. Owning a 1987 2-pence coin is like holding a fragment of recent British history. And while it may not make you rich, it connects you to a broader cultural and historical narrative that continues to evolve. The 1993 2-pence coin from the United Kingdom featuring Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This is not just any 2-pence coin. This video unpacks everything collectors, hobbyists, and curious holders need to know about the 1993 issue, particularly those coins that appear without a mint mark. Is it rare? Is it valuable? Could it be worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds in 2025? Or is it just another everyday piece of copper-plated steel circulating by the millions? To begin, the obverse of the 1993 2-pence coin features the third definitive coinage portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was introduced in 1985 and used through 1997. Designed by Raphael Maklauf, this regal profile displays the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, with a formal inscription around the edge reading, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year, 1993 in this case. D.G. Reg. FD stands for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This is a standard part of the inscription found on nearly all British coinage of the time and is not unique to the 2p denomination or the year in question. Turning the coin over, the reverse shows the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a design by Christopher Ironside. It features 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the motto Ich diene, a German phrase meaning, I serve. Surrounding this design is the denomination, 2 pence. By 1993, this design had been in use for over 2 decades, and while aesthetically classic, it does not make the coin especially rare. However, collectors have grown curious due to the absence of any visible mint mark, prompting some to believe this 1993 coin is somehow special or limited. It's important to understand that British coins traditionally do not display a mint mark in the same manner as American coins. The Royal Mint in the United Kingdom, located in Llantrisant, Wales, was responsible for striking all circulating 2p coins in 1993. The absence of a mint mark is entirely normal and applies to virtually all UK coins in circulation, not just the 1993 2p. Therefore, the so-called no mint mark feature is not an error, not unusual, and certainly not indicative of rarity. In 1993, the Royal Mint produced approximately 235.7 million 2-pence coins for general circulation. This figure immediately positions the 1993 issue among the more heavily minted years of the 2p series. In other words, it was mass-produced on a truly industrial scale. In addition to the circulation coins, smaller quantities were issued in presentation formats, including brilliant uncirculated sets and proof sets. However, even these presentation pieces do not reach levels of scarcity that significantly drive up demand or price. They remain readily available on the secondary market today and are often sold at prices only slightly above face value, depending on condition and completeness of the set. Now let's examine the composition of the coin. Prior to 1992, 2-pence coins were made from bronze. Starting in 1992 and continuing through 1993, the composition changed to copper-plated steel, which is magnetic. This decision was made due to the rising cost of copper and the need for cost-effective minting solutions. So, if you place a 1993 2p coin next to an earlier version and test them with a magnet, the 1993 will be attracted to it, confirming the copper-plated steel composition. The dimensions remained consistent with a diameter of 25.9 mm and a weight of 7.12 grams. This ensures all 2p coins remain interchangeable for everyday use, regardless of composition. The online world, especially forums and auction platforms, is full of listings where ordinary 1993 2p coins are being advertised as rare collectibles, sometimes with astronomical price tags. This has contributed to a widespread misconception that any 1993 coin lacking a mint mark is rare and highly valuable. The truth is far less exciting. These listings often capitalize on the confusion between normal mint production and actual mint errors. Unfortunately, many people fall for the illusion that they possess a hidden gem. Without genuine error characteristics or unique provenance, the 1993 2p does not qualify as a rare coin. The most famous is the 1983 new pence error, where a small number of coins were mistakenly issued with the pre-1982 inscription after the denomination wording had officially changed to 2 pence. These have fetched hundreds, even thousands of pounds at auction due to their true rarity and documented error status. Other rare 2p variants include off-metal strikes, such as those accidentally struck on 10p planchets, or missing plating errors where the steel core is exposed. These types of errors are rare and can significantly increase a coin's value, but again, these are not typically found in 1993 examples. For a standard circulation coin in average used condition, the value remains exactly what it says, 2 pence. In uncirculated or mint condition, a private collector might be willing to pay between 20 pence and £1 depending on presentation. Coins still sealed in original mint packaging or part of a complete year set may attract slightly higher offers, but even then, expectations should be tempered. Only if a specific coin from this year displays a clear minting error, such as misalignment, double striking, off-metal composition, or another anomaly, would it potentially attract serious collector attention and command a higher price. In such cases, authentication by a reputable grading service becomes essential. The 1993 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 2 pence coin is a fascinating study, not because of its rarity, but because of how myths can grow around perfectly ordinary items. With over 235 million of these coins minted, its place in circulation history is secure, but its value remains mostly sentimental or symbolic unless accompanied by a verifiable error. If you have one, keep it, cherish it, but don't expect a life-changing windfall unless you've stumbled upon something truly unusual. That said, always check your change, because genuine coin errors do exist, and sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from coins overlooked by others. The 1994 no-mint marked Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, commonly known as the 2p coin. What may seem like an ordinary coin to most can, under the right conditions, become an interesting and sometimes even valuable collector's item. We'll unpack this coin's background, composition, mintage figures, varieties, collector interest, error coin potential, and what you might expect to receive for it in today's coin market. Whether you're a casual collector, an investor, or just curious about the loose change in your pocket, this video is for you. The British decimal 2p was first issued on the 15th of February 1971, as part of the United Kingdom's shift to a decimalized monetary system. This transition replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence with a system based on 100 new pence to the pound. Initially, the 2p coin was struck in bronze, consisting of 97% copper, with tin and zinc making up the remainder. This composition was used until 1992, when the Royal Mint changed the material to copper-plated steel to reduce production costs due to rising metal prices. As a result, 2p coins minted after 1992 are magnetic, while older bronze coins are not. By 1994, the copper-plated steel coin was well established as the new standard. These coins were mass-produced and circulated widely throughout the United Kingdom, becoming a staple in everyday transactions and coinage sets. On the obverse, or front, of the coin is the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait, created by sculptor Raphael Maklauf, was used on UK coinage from 1985 to 1997. In this depiction, the Queen is wearing the George IV state diadem, and the surrounding inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year of issue, 1994. The initials DG Reg. FD stand for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates to, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse side features the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a single coronet. Below the feathers is a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which means, I serve. Surrounding the central image is the denomination, 2 pence. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, and it remained in use on 2p coins until the Royal Mint introduced the new reverse design by Matthew Dent in 2008. One detail worth noting is the absence of a mint mark. This is standard for British circulating coins, as the Royal Mint does not typically include mint marks on everyday coinage. As for mintage, the 1994 2p coin was produced in extremely large quantities. Over 531 million coins were minted for circulation that year, making it one of the more common years for this denomination. In addition to circulation strikes, the Royal Mint also released a limited number of brilliant uncirculated coins for collector sets, as well as high-quality proof coins for premium proof sets. With such a high mintage, the coin is far from rare in its standard circulated form. Millions are still in use today, and countless others are tucked away in drawers, jars, or forgotten change containers across the UK. However, coins in pristine condition, those that have never entered circulation, hold additional value, especially when preserved in their original mint packaging. Even then, the value is typically modest unless the coin exhibits unique features. In standard circulated form, the 1994 2p coin is very common. You can still find it in your change, and it's not considered scarce by collectors. That said, not all 2p coins are created equal. Occasionally, minting errors or unusual production anomalies increase a coin's desirability and market value. Coins struck on the wrong metal blank, such as a silver-colored planchet off-center strikes or double strikes mules, where the obverse and reverse don't match, incorrect edge milling or misaligned dies. While there is no widely confirmed mass production error for the 1994 2p coin, the Royal Mint has, on rare occasions across multiple years, produced errors that slipped into circulation. Therefore, if you come across a 1994 2p that appears silver, lightweight, off-center, or unusual in any way, it may be worth getting professionally evaluated by a coin grading service or numismatic expert. In circulated condition, most examples hold only face value, just 2 pence. However, collectors often pay a small premium for coins in higher grades or specific packaging. Let's break it down by category. Well-worn, circulated 1994 2p is generally worth between 5 and 10 US cents, which translates to about 4 to 8 UK pence. A coin in extremely fine condition may fetch around 15 to 25 cents, depending on the buyer and market interest. Brilliant uncirculated coins, often found in official year sets, can sell for between £1 and £1.50. Proof coins, especially if still sealed in original Royal Mint packaging, may bring in anywhere from £2 to £3 or slightly more, depending on condition. An authenticated error coin, such as a silver-colored 2p struck on the wrong planchet, can command significantly higher prices. These can range from £50 to several £100 or more, based on the type and severity of the error. It's important to remember that coin values fluctuate based on market trends, collector demand, metal prices, and auction outcomes. What sells for £1 today may be worth more or less tomorrow, depending on the popularity of the series or the strength of the numismatic market. Inspect condition closely. Coins in mint or near mint condition are always worth more. Avoid cleaning coins, as this can reduce their value. Weigh the coin. The standard weight of a 1994 2p is around 7.12 grams. A different weight could indicate a minting error or a wrong planchet. Check for magnetism. As the 1994 coin is made of copper-plated steel, it should be magnetic. If yours is not, it may be made of an unusual metal. Compare to other coins. Look at reputable online auction platforms or coin dealers to see what similar coins are selling for. Get a second opinion. If you believe your coin has an error or is unique, consider getting it appraised by a professional or submitting it to a grading service. So there you have it. While the standard 1994 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 2 pence coin is generally not rare or highly valuable, condition, presentation, and potential errors can greatly influence what it's worth in today's market. For most, it's a common coin with a rich history. But for the keen-eyed collector or lucky coin hunter, it just might turn into something more. The 1996 Queen Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. A coin that, while common in circulation, holds surprising interest and value in the eyes of collectors around the world. So sit back, relax, and prepare to explore the history, design, rarity, and market value of the 1996 no-mint mark 2 pence coin, a humble yet compelling artifact of British history. To truly appreciate the 1996 2 pence coin, we must first step back into the origins of this denomination. The 2 pence coin, often referred to as 2p, was first introduced into British circulation in 1971, during the transition to decimalisation, a major overhaul of the British monetary system that simplified coin values into a base 10 structure. The 2p coin was created as a practical, mid-value coin for daily transactions, but its design carried symbolic weight. The reverse of the coin was designed by the artist and sculptor Christopher Ironside. It features the badge of the Prince of Wales, an emblem composed of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon bearing the German phrase Ich diene, which translates to I serve. The obverse side of the 1996 coin bears the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This regal depiction was created by sculptor Raphael Maklauf and was used from 1985 through 1997. It presents the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown originally made for the coronation of George IV in 1821. The year 1996 was an ordinary year in many respects for the Royal Mint in terms of production, but it fell in a transitional period in terms of materials and coinage philosophy. By this time, the Royal Mint had already moved away from the use of bronze in most 2-pence coins and adopted copper-plated steel, a shift that had occurred a few years prior. This move was largely motivated by cost efficiency. Steel was far less expensive to produce, and with copper plating, it maintained the traditional reddish-brown appearance familiar to the public. The 1996 2-pence coin was minted in large quantities and was not designed with any commemorative intention. It was a standard issue, made for widespread circulation, and bore no distinguishing mint mark, as was typical for most British circulating coins of the time. Despite the lack of a mint mark and the absence of any special commemorative labeling, the 1996 coin became a subject of minor interest among collectors, particularly those aiming to complete full-year sets or track subtle die variations and production anomalies. In short, no, not in the traditional sense. The coin was minted in the hundreds of millions. That makes it extremely common in the grand scheme of British coinage. It can still be found in circulation today, although less frequently due to natural attrition and the slow hoarding of pre-1998 copper-plated steel and bronze coins, coins that have remained in uncirculated condition, those never used in commerce and preserved in mint sets or collector albums, can hold a surprising premium over their circulated counterparts. A 2-pence coin from 1996 in brilliant uncirculated condition, for instance, may appeal to those assembling high-grade year collections. Additionally, a niche group of collectors seeks out error coins. These are pieces that may have been misstruck, double-stamped, off-center, or have missing layers of copper. While such errors are exceedingly rare for the 1996 2p, the possibility remains, and when found, such a coin can command a significant price on the open market. Furthermore, there is minor but present interest in coins with exceptional color toning or unusual luster. These characteristics may result from unique storage conditions or slight minting anomalies, and while they don't guarantee increased value, they can intrigue certain buyers. In the year 2025, the majority of 1996 2p coins found in circulation are worth face value. That's 2 pence in the United Kingdom, or approximately 2 to 3 cents in United States currency. This applies to well-worn coins or those with visible wear, corrosion, or damage from years of handling. Coins graded as very fine or extremely fine, those showing only minor signs of wear, with all major details still clear, can fetch slightly higher values from collectors, particularly when sold as part of a complete year set. These coins may be worth between 10 and 30 cents in the collector market. In the case of coins graded as uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated, the value rises more sharply. These coins, particularly when preserved in original Royal Mint packaging or album sets, may be valued between $1 and $2 depending on the presentation, clarity of strike, and the current level of collector demand. In extremely rare cases, such as confirmed error strikes or coins with remarkable features, the value could stretch even higher, though such examples require expert appraisal and authentication to realize their full potential at auction or in private sale. It's important to note that collector value is often driven by sentiment, rarity within condition groups, and the psychology of collecting itself. A coin need not be rare in raw numbers to be valuable. Sometimes, scarcity in pristine condition is enough to warrant attention and elevate value. If you are a beginner collector, this coin can serve as an excellent and accessible entry point into the world of British decimal coinage. It offers historical relevance, aesthetic appeal, and an easy opportunity to begin learning about grading, preservation, and the subtle art of numismatics. If you are a more seasoned collector, it may only hold appeal as part of a broader collection, perhaps as a component of a complete date set, a comparison piece across monarch portraits, or as a quality specimen in an album devoted to pre-Euro British coinage. For investors, the 1996 2-pence coin is unlikely to offer significant returns, unless it is part of a rare variant group or discovered in near-perfect condition. Still, the enduring appeal of Queen Elizabeth II coinage means that interest may grow with time, especially as her coinage becomes a closed chapter in British numismatic history. Every coin tells a story. And while the 1996 Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin may not be rare or luxurious, it is a tangible piece of Britain's cultural and economic journey. It is a reminder of the monarch's reign, of the evolution of coinage materials, of the nation's design heritage, and of a time when change, both literal and figurative, filled our pockets every day. In a time when physical currency is slowly giving way to digital alternatives, these coins become more than monetary units. They become artifacts. They become keepsakes. They become history. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the story of the no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. We hope this video has helped you understand the history, details, and true value of this iconic piece of modern British coinage. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the fascinating world of coins. Got a coin you'd like us to explore next? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting.